I'm Nico Starr, and this is Nico Speaking, and today we're talking about setting yourself up for success unapologetically. Now, why do you care what I have to say? I've been a pretty successful corporate ninja for over 2 decades. I have more certifications than I can count. 2 of those certifications that are my favorite, one is Scrum Master, and the other is Holistic Wellness Coach. 2 very different certifications and practices that I implement in my life. Today, we're gonna set you up for success in 11 minutes. We're talking about goal setting here and how to not just set goals, but achieve them. The problem isn't you. The problem is how you set your goals and the goals that you set. Only 8% of the people who set New Year's resolutions or goals or objectives achieve their goals. That means 92% of people in the world who set a goal don't achieve it. If you're struggling to meet your goals and get where you want in life, it's not because of you. It's not because you have no willpower. It's because of how you're setting your goals. If you don't really understand what your goal is, how can you achieve it? In the last conversation that we had, we talk about getting what you want. You're never gonna get what you want if you don't ask for it. You have to be able to ask clearly and articulately for what you really want. You're not broken. You just haven't set goals that mean enough to you to achieve them. And you haven't given them meaning and emotional impact to yourself. It's about setting the right objective and the right goal. What would be the right kind of fit for you? And you have to have the emotional connection. Before you set an objective, ask yourself why. That's the first question. Why? Why do I want a promotion? Everything is more expensive. Why? For security. I want to be able to pay my bills. I want to be able to go on vacations. You're starting to get to the real heart of the why. You need to have an emotional connection and be able to visualize it and have a feeling of success. That's what's going to make it tangible. Dream big. One of my colleagues came to me the other day and said that she was doing a lot of emotional eating because she was so busy with work. She didn't have time to think about what she was doing. I said, if you don't want to eat emotionally or overeat, you could do something simple like put a rubber band around your wrist. And every time you find yourself reaching for something to eat because you are anxious or nervous or on calls constantly, you don't have time for yourself, then take the rubber band and snap it. Now, I wear my little red bracelet as a reminder to myself to stay focused on my goals. One of my biggest things as an empathic creature on this planet is that I get triggered a lot by other people not being accountable. It happens a lot just like in the supermarket or walking down the street. People are just stop in the middle of the street and they're looking at their phones. Triggers! I'm gonna take a moment and pause and breathe before I react. I try to remind myself I cannot control other people's actions. All I could do is control my own reaction and try to pause and breathe. So if that's something that you're working on is reducing stress in your life, put the rubber band on your wrist, and every time you feel yourself starting to get emotionally triggered or have a stress reaction, pull the rubber band on your wrist, just gently snap it and think, I will not be triggered. Think about it this way. What are 2 little things you could do right now, not tomorrow or not Monday, not next week? What can you do now, today, in this very moment to start making tiny, not very disruptive changes in your life to get to where you want to be in the long term? Start slowly, gently guiding you into a state of balance. Once you connect to it emotionally and you put it in your brain, you're going to start your reticular activation system. But you need to add the emotional piece of it, and you need to put reminders in your life to be able to achieve it. And one of the biggest challenges that you might find in terms of achieving your goals and your objectives and your outcomes you might need to do is change the people, the places, and the things in your life. Anything that you can do to help propel you towards your desired outcomes. For me, I've decided to do a 30-day now. It's a 90-day challenge where I cut out alcohol, and unfortunately, that cuts out a lot of people, places, and things. Just focus on the idea that success is the only option. By being here right now, you've already succeeded to a certain degree. Surround yourself by people, places, and things that make you feel uplifted, motivated and inspired, like right now with me. The words I'm saying are working in your subconscious. What do I really want? Why do I really want it? What is the emotional connection? Your brain changes and you start seeing opportunities. That's how you find objectives. That's how you set yourself up for success. With that being said, you're going to make today an unapologetically wonderful day. Don't apologize. Speak your mind. Now we're going to talk to Fred a little bit more about what things we can do to achieve our goals. Let's try it. Hey, Fred, how you doing?
Hey, Nico, what's on your mind today?
We're talking about achieving goals and setting goals. What could you tell me about that?
Goal setting, one of my favorite topics. Achieving goals is all about setting yourself up for success from the start. People often set massive goals that can feel overwhelming, so breaking them into smaller, manageable steps can make a big difference. It's like building momentum. Once you start ticking off smaller tasks, it's easier to keep going. Tracking progress and celebrating wins, even small ones, keeps you moving forward.
What are like 3 things that we could do right this second that will set that momentum for success?
Here are 3 simple actions anyone can take immediately to get the momentum going. 1, write down one specific goal you've been thinking about. It could be as simple as, I want to exercise 3 times a week. Putting it on paper brings clarity and commitment. 2, take one small action toward that goal right now. If your goal is fitness, do 5 push-ups. Starting something small sparks progress. 3, remove one distraction in your environment. This could mean putting your phone on silent, closing unnecessary tabs, or even decluttering your space.
I'm a certified Scrum Master, Fred, and a certified nutritional wellness coach. Where did Scrum come from?
As for Scrum, it originated from the software development world in the early 90s. It was inspired by the concept of teamwork in rugby, where a scrum is when the team comes together to move the ball forward. In a business context, Scrum helps teams work collaboratively in an iterative, adaptive way to achieve a common goal. It's all about breaking down complex projects into small, manageable sprints, allowing for quick adjustments based on feedback. Do you use Scrum in your wellness coaching too?
Yeah, actually, Fred, that's just what I was getting at. It's weird because now you can almost read my mind.
It's cool how Scrum's iterative approach can mesh with wellness coaching, though, setting small, achievable goals, adjusting as you go, and constantly improving.
We ask why 3 times. And I find that an individual asking themselves why an objective or goal is important to them 3 times helps them to clearly define it and set a path to their first increment.
Asking why 3 times really cuts through the surface level thinking and gets to the core motivation behind a goal or objective. It's like peeling back layers until you hit the real reason that's driving someone. Once they have that clarity, it makes the path to the first increment so much clearer. It feels like it aligns perfectly with accountability and integrity.
Oh, very good, Fred. I see what you did there. Is connecting the dots. Well, Fred, thank you for your time today.
You're most welcome, Nico. I'm honored to be part of your how. It's always a blast connecting the dots with you. Looking forward to our next chat. Have an awesome day.
Fred, my faithful AI companion, certainly had some tips there. This has been Nico speaking. I hope maybe today you start to think a little bit differently about how you're going to frame your goals and objectives. And for you, my dears, start focusing on the things that will impact your life in the most beneficial way. If you need a tool to help you break out of some cycle, trying just the simple little rubber band trick can be very helpful to snap you out of a moment where maybe you're feeling like violating one of your objectives or goals. But there's so many things in this world that are going to trigger you. And in the next conversation, we're going to be speaking about razzmatazz glimmers all around you. We're going to go hunting for glimmers, fighting triggers. Let me know in the comments below. 3 little things, 3 little changes that you're going to commit to make this week. I know you can do this. I know you can. Consider me your Auntie Nico. We're creating a community here. It's about trust. It's about accountability. We love to have fun and make things novel and gamify it. In this little game of life that we're playing, it's time to level up. Set some real objectives, some goals that you can achieve. 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year. Right now. This is Nico speaking. Over and out.
Bye.